Welcome to the 57th video in our series on Unix tools. This time around, we're going to do some editing on a file of just text. And I want to be able to show you the difference between lowercase w and uppercase W, lowercase b and uppercase b, which those commands were for moving forward and backward by words. But it was a little confusing. If we come down here to this line where the cursor is now, let me turn on the ruler. So we're on line 4, and if we use the W key, it's going to jump forward, and the B key will go backward, word by word. If we uppercase that, uppercase W and lowercase W, they seem to work the same. And uppercase B and lowercase b, they work the same on this line. But let's move up one line. Let's go to line 3, hit a 0 to go to the beginning. Now let's try lowercase w. Aha! It stops on the punctuation. And then it goes to the rest of the word and then the next word. So for words that don't have any punctuation, lowercase and uppercase w work the same. But for words that have punctuation, like a contraction, like don't, can't, won't, shouldn't, isn't, when you do the W, it's going to stop on that apostrophe, that punctuation. And then it's going to go to the rest of the word, and finally it'll jump to the next word. If I use uppercase W, though, uppercase W, it still jumps by the spaces. Same thing with lowercase b. B will stop here for the punctuation, and it'll stop here for the punctuation. But if I use uppercase B, it only goes to the spaces. So that's the difference between upper and lowercase for W and B. What if we want to go to the apostrophe quickly on the same line? Remember, we can do lowercase f and then the apostrophe, and we can use the semicolon to jump to the next one. And if we're at the end of the line, we can do a uppercase F and apostrophe, and we can do a comma, and the comma doesn't seem to repeat anything, but the semicolon does. And what happened? What happened? Let's do it again. Uppercase F and then the apostrophe, and we're going to do semicolon to repeat that, and then we're going to do a comma, and you can see what comma does. Comma switches direction but does the same search. Semicolon does not switch direction. If I do a semicolon now, it won't go anywhere because we're moving to the right and there aren't any more apostrophes. Oh, we were moving to the left. Whoops. Okay, let's try it again. Let's go to the beginning and do an F apostrophe. There we go. Semicolon. And semicolon, semicolon, semicolon. It won't move off the line. But if we do a comma, we go the other direction, and then it won't go off the line. And you say, well, how do I know there are no more apostrophes anywhere in the file? How do we append to this line? Shift A. I won't quit. Okay, so let's come back up here to this line again. And we're going to do lowercase f apostrophe, and then we're going to do the semicolon. And when we do the semicolon again, you might think it'll go to the last line, but it won't. And that's because F and uppercase F, semicolon and comma, they stay on the same line. They just won't leave that line. They're short-range searches. But we could jump to the period easily. The easiest way is just shift $. That's one key. But you could also do F dot, it'll jump there. So cool. And we've learned about deleting. If I want to delete can, I do a D lowercase w and it just deletes the can. Let's undo that. If I do a D uppercase W, it gets the whole word. And then I can, of course, use the dot, 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 U, dot, dot, dot. Uh-oh. And already at the oldest change, I've destroyed the last line. Oh, no. Don't panic. In the last video, I said when you're here and you want to put some text before this line, you can go $A, enter. Wow, that's 4 keys. Or if I'm here, I can do K, Shift A, enter. That's 3 keys. But we learned a better way. We said if you're here, you can do Shift O and you're in. Hi, Mom. So Shift O was great. It did it in 1 key instead of 3 keys or 4 keys. What if I want to do an add, but I want to add after this line? We already know we could do a Shift A, enter, and we could type. Is there a faster way? There's got to be a faster way. Watch this. Ooh, how'd I do that? Shift O opens up before the line. Lowercase o opens up after the line. So really, any kind of Shift A, enter, that's dumb. Okay? It's slow. It's 2 keys. And we want to do things in 1 key. The whole goal of VI, besides being able to edit the file, is to be able to edit the file quickly. And that's why it has so many commands and why it's a little difficult to learn. Let's read the text here. I can't believe you don't love VI yet. Anybody who learn, and I need to put an S here, how do I do it? That's right, IS, escape. Anyone who learns it well enough to use it will certainly feel 2 things. It's fast and it's cryptic. The reason why some people edit very slowly with VI is because they only learned 10 commands. Well, you're not going to be any good that way. You have to learn a lot of commands to get the speed. The more you learn, the faster you will edit. That's that learning curve I talked about. Okay. We learned we could combine D with emotion. DW would get the word. And of course, if we're here on don't and I say I forget and I say DW, it doesn't get the whole thing because lowercase w will stop on punctuation. I need to do a D uppercase W to get the whole word. Okay, that's fine. And we learned that D dollar would delete the rest of the line. What if I do a D0? Yes, you can do a backward motion. It will delete everything before that on the line. Okay, and if I'm in the middle of the paragraph, we learned that D right curly brace would delete the rest of the paragraph. D left curly brace deletes everything before that in the paragraph. Let's do that again. D left curly brace, and you notice it killed the blank line too. Okay. Cool, we're making progress. But look at this. I have this big wide window and I've typed in all this text, but I'm not using the full line. I've got, all this space here I'm not using. How do I combine these 2 lines? I don't have any way to do that yet. Well, it turns out if you're here, you can do Shift J and that will join. Let's undo that. So Shift J, that will join. And then if I go J down and I do a Shift J, it's a little bit too long. Okay, it's a little bit too long for the window. Let's undo that. But let's go down here. J, 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 Shift J. That worked. Okay, and you notice at the end of the line there's no space. At the beginning of the line there's no space. But when I do a Shift J, it's smart. It puts a space in there. And that's the right thing for regular prose, like we're reading right now. Something in a README file, or if you were typing in a document for LaTeX or something like that. But what if you wanted that? With a data file, you might not want to add the space. And you say, wow, how can I do that? You can do a G Shift J and it will join with no space. The regular Shift J joins with a space. Wow. Lots of commands. But J is for join. Okay? So we learned several things in this short video. We learned that D motion works with paragraphs, it works with dollar, it works with zero, it works with upper and lowercase w, upper and lowercase b. Does it work with F? Remember, F was that quick searcher. We could do this, but that's 3 keys. And we learned we could do F right parentheses and it'll jump. Can we combine D in that? Yes, we can. D, F, right parentheses. Wow. I'm out of time on this video. We learned quite a few more tricks. Please come back for our next video when we keep learning. But for now, we're out of time, and I want to thank you for listening.